So our lead this hour is from the NFL. And I thought this story was interesting, worthy of some Maller monologue treatment. No, it's not about the Jets upsetting the Texans, which actually did happen. You talk about a spooky Halloween for the Houston football team. But we have a new wrinkle. We'll stay in Texas, but we'll go to Dallas. I don't know if you saw this or not. The Cowboy teammates Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs were talking about the top quarterbacks. This was on Parsons has a podcast, because everyone has a podcast. Even I have a podcast, the 5th Hour podcast, which will be available later today. And they listed on a big board the elite quarterbacks this season. Now, if you didn't hear about this or not, maybe not. The reason I'm bringing this up, now Parsons and Trevon Diggs listed Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, and Matthew Stafford. They even mentioned Viking quarterback Sam Darnold and Washington rookie Jaden Daniels. But they omitted who? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, their own quarterback, Dakota Prescott, did not make the conversation. So let us discuss the question for the esteemed panel, and you're part of that panel. Dak Prescott left off the top 5 quarterback big board by Cowboy teammates Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. Is this an honest mistake or something more nefarious? So I've got Thumb, Marie Antoinette, and Cuddle. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to go cowabunga, dude. That's what we're going to do. It's a surf term. All right, so to lead off, after a minutes-long deliberation, a Maller deliberation on this, I have determined that the scales of justice are leaning heavily towards funny business, nefarious. Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs have been around the block a few times. This is not their first rodeo, right? My favorite Micah Parsons story, I love this. So he agreed back when Skip Bayless had the show on Fox with Uncle Sharp, Shannon Sharp. That show, they agreed to a contract with Micah Parsons. He was going to show up every week on FS1, no matter what. But if you remember, Dak Prescott got hurt it was like early in the season, and the deal had just been agreed to. And guess who went AWOL? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, Micah Parsons. So I love that he's got a podcast, and he's more worried about that than playing in the NFL. So but he's been around, and the fact that both these guys failed to give Dak Prescott even a token mention, unmistakable, undeniable. It is, right? I mean, not that Dak has been good, but neither has Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes leads the NFL in interceptions, right? You go back to last year, he's way ahead of everybody. And Dak Prescott, he's also bad. He's 25th in the NFL, according to the quarterback ranking. But the default position has always been you at least mention your quarterback. It is a must say. It's one of those little white lies, kind of like when your wife says, hey, do I look fat in this dress? You say, no, not at all. You look great. What are you talking about? It's a white lie you're supposed to say. And when you don't, it stands out like a sore thumb, and it causes more problems. And so this is a violation of pigskin decorum. Now, I love the honesty. But they also included Sam Darnold, who's fallen off the last couple of weeks and all that. And Micah Parsons is living up to the scouting report. He's a bit obtuse. Just a wee bit obtuse. Now, furthermore, we head now to the mistake by the lake. Beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, as the quarterback there preparing for his second straight start, the backup. Why did Browns quarterback Jameis Winston, why did he feel the need to defend his now viral pregame speeches? So he was asked about it, but he chose to engage. And my theory on this is it's rather simple, that Jameis does not believe in brevity. He's got the gift of gab. He's very loquacious, right? He likes to talk. So it's a social media thing, and these speeches have become over the top. They go viral every time on social media, and a lot of people are jelly. Right? People are jelly of it, and so a lot of people rip him. People think it's fake. They think he's phony. He said, "I'm not." He said, "That's real." Now, I will tell you, this stuff has a very short lifespan. It is cornball, and I would imagine, since every locker room, any business, there are cliques, right? There's cliques at Fox Sports Radio. I'm sure there's cliques on the Cleveland Browns in their locker room. There's that. Anytime you bring human beings together, right? That's the way that it works. And so people get tired of it and all that. But Winston, in this respect, and I do find him to be sincere. I don't think this is fake. He is the Marie Antoinette of NFL quarterbacks, right? And she's the one that's credited with popularizing a tune that our friend Tony in the Bay Area famously sung on the show. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, right? Winston, every time I see this guy, it's always like he's got his all-you-can-eat crab legs. He's smiling, he's bubbly, he's very charismatic, he's charming, all that. He just is likable. Because a lot of these guys, I hate to say it, are complete schmucks, right? They're arrogant SOBs, these NFL players, a lot of them. But not Winston. He seems like a good dude, like the kind of guy you want to pull for. And for what he lacks in talent at this point, he makes up for in likability. That's been the way the last several years. Eat the W. Eat the W. All right, now, last thing. Several of you have asked me to comment on the underlying condition. You've sent me emails, and I will do that right now. There's a handful of NFL players that have been sparring with the media. Their complaint is the locker room interview. And this is becoming a thing. We are heading up to a fork in the road. And this is a tinderbox, and we're closing in on what is going to become a Waterloo moment. So what does this tell us? Now, to me, it tells us that the modern athlete has verified that they are next-level coddled. Next-level coddled. Now, things get easier. They don't get harder. One of the few inconveniences you have as a modern NFL player is a reporter asking you questions, right? And a lot of these guys have pointed out, because they're all freaking out, they won't have jobs. What's the point of having a reporter cover the team if the players are not available to be interviewed? You wouldn't need to spend money on a beat reporter. Who cares? The players don't talk anyway. You can just have somebody record the Zoom conversation with the coach. But it just shows you how soft these players are. They've got penthouse locker rooms. They're spoiled beyond belief. The NFL has given players almost every creature comfort you could possibly want, all the perks, all that. And so even a mild nuisance is so looked down upon, you must get rid of it. Like these big, bad, tough football players, but a reporter with a tape recorder, oh my God, that is a violation. And it's nothing new, right? The fact that it's gaining traction is wacky tobacco, is what it is, right? People have complained for a long time, and I've brought this up before. People complain about younger generations. This goes back literally thousands of years. They look at the writings going back hundreds of years, and it goes back further than that. People complain about younger generations. In fact, looking down on the generation that comes after you is simply part of human nature. It just is. Now, that being said, While banning reporters seems like a good idea for the players, short term, long term, it's a problem. As I said, media companies are not going to waste their money sending reporters out to cover NFL teams if the players are not made available. And they're not made available every day. It would be a waste of money. There's no point in doing it. And every media company I've worked for and everyone I know who works in the media business all tell me the same thing. The people they work for don't want to spend money. So therefore, mark my words, if the players are not accessible, they ban reporters from the locker room, the media coverage will go down, the players will complain because they're not getting as many opportunities on these dopey podcasts and these other crappy media things they're doing, and they'll raise a hullabaloo. That's a fact.